Super Porky is one of the most charismatic, sympathetic, and likable luchadores maybe of all time. People absolutely love him. However, his enemies would absolutely torture the guy. Today's video, we're going to be talking about one of Super Porky's great triumphs and one of his greatest defeats at the hands of false Puerto Rican Pierroth. Now, I can't provide a 100% clear picture on the entire context and timeline surrounding these events, but I can give you a solid idea of what happened. The details that confuse me the most are at some point who has custody of Super Porky's pet pig called Pepe Pepe. Pepe Pepe is a very big part of this storyline. This entire story happens near the end of 1999, and there are a lot of other stories happening in CMLL, a lot of matches being built up, and one of those matches is the legendary Lucha de APuestas between Atlantis and Villano Tercero. Things really start heating up in October of 1999. As I said earlier, a lot of this storyline deals with Pierroth, but another big player in this story is Apolo Dantes, who was representing El Sindicato Negro. You see, El Sindicato Negro were tied up with Pierroth as well. His Boricuas and El Sindicato Negro were having issues off on the side, so all three men are involved in this story. And on October 8th, towards the end of a trios match in which Brazo de Plata, aka Super Porky, and Pierroth were participating in, Brazo de Plata sneaks behind Pierroth as he heads to the back to pick up a weapon to use in this match. Porky is able to hide on the stage opposite of the entrance Pierroth used to go get his weapon, and as Pierroth comes back out and towards the ring, Super Porky sneaks behind him, takes the weapon, and uses it on Pierroth. And I thought this was an incredible bit. Many people love the Super Porky hiding bit. Porky gets the jump on Pierroth, and while he loses the match by DQ, he gets to bash Pierroth with a big sheet of metal. Afterwards, Apolo Dantes and El Sindicato Negro show up to attack Pierroth. Apolo Dantes gets a mic and makes it clear, however, that he has enough for both Super Porky and Pierroth.
Y a ti, Pierroth, si quieres más, quieres involucrarte en este pleito que no es tuyo, nomás dime, porque El Sindicato Negro y Apolo Dantes tiene para ti y para Porky.
The next week, a three-way trios match is booked. Porky, Emilio Charles Jr., and Tarzan Boy, Pierroth, Villano Tercero, and Fuerza Guerrera, and Apolo Dantes, Máscara Año 2000, and Universo 2000. Things get crazy really fast in this match. Super Porky and his team are making their entrance, and Pierroth ambushes Porky's team from behind. He then drags Super Porky to the back. Besides the beatings that were being given inside the ring, Pierroth was also messing with Porky outside of the ring. He had taken Porky's pet pig, Pepe Pepe. Like I said earlier, I don't know the exact timeline on when he's taken, when he's rescued, when he's taken, but he changes hands a few times. When Porky comes back from the backstage, he is completely covered in blood. Pierroth then gives him a solid whooping for a bit until Super Porky fights back. Porky goes beast mode. He is wiping his blood all over himself, and he just looks super cool. He then tries to draw blood from Pierroth as well, biting him on his forehead and just beating him up. The match continues, and as we get towards the end, Porky starts giving Pierroth a bit more of a beating. And then, when Pierrothito tries to interfere and hit Porky with a weapon, Porky gets the jump on him as well, takes the weapon and uses it on Pierroth, which causes a DQ. I'm not sure where El Sindicato Negro were for this entire match. It was billed as a three-way trios. However, the match ends after Porky gets DQ'd, and I don't think El Sindicato Negro even made it to the ring. However, they do show up after the match, and Apolo Dantes has enough to give both of his perceived enemies a whooping. A three-way hair match is set for November 26th, and it's kind of confusing the way this match is set up, but I will try to explain it the best I can. On the night of November 26th, the first two men in the ring are Apolo Dantes and Pierroth. Pierroth just kind of beats Apolo Dantes, pretty one-sided. Next, Super Porky comes out to face Pierroth. Here's where things start getting a little confusing. If Pierroth is able to pin Super Porky or just beat him by submission as well, then Porky and Apolo Dantes face off, and the loser of that match will have to shave their head. Pierroth beats Apolo Dantes handedly, beats Super Porky, and is safe for the evening. This does not mean he is completely safe, however, as this match kind of happens over 2 weeks. Pierroth is safe only until the next week. He will face the winner of the rest of the match. After Pierroth beats Porky pretty handedly, we get a quick skit/vignette of Pierrothito taking control of Pepe Pepe. Some people found Pepe Pepe on the streets and were returning him to Arena Mexico, trying to get him back to Porky, but Pierrothito deceived them and took them for himself. We cut back to the match, which is now Apolo Dantes and Super Porky in the ring. Whoever loses this fall will lose their hair. Whoever wins faces Pierroth the very next week in another hair match. Porky and Apolo Dantes get at it and they hit each other with, everything they've got. Porky has a pretty great backdrop suplex in this match, and there's a moment where it does feel like it might be over for Super Porky, but ultimately, he sneaks past Apolo Dantes with a quick pin and takes his hair. Porky gets a mic afterwards and tells the people from now on, Apolo Dantes has to call him Señor Porky. Arturo Rivera asks about Pepe Pepe, and Porky confirms he doesn't know where Pepe Pepe is. Porky ends the post-match speech by saying next week Pierroth will lose and he will have to call him Señor Porky as well.
Así como Apolo Dantes me va a decir Señor Porky, también Pierroth me va a decir Señor Porky.
Momentum is on his side, and surely Super Porky will win against Pierroth and save his precious pet pig, Pepe Pepe. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And Porky will experience firsthand the bottomless malice that resides within a human heart. December 3rd, 1999, Porky and Pierroth face off in the main event, Cabellera contra Cabellera. For the majority of this match, Porky is just mopping the floor with Pierroth. I mean, he is kicking the dirt off of the guy. Everything is coming up Porky, until, Pierroth's goons get involved. They go backstage and come back with a little stereo. And as Porky is about to win, they take a mic and put it up to the stereo and hit play. The sounds of a small pig squealing fill the air, and it confuses Porky just long enough for Pierroth to get up and finish Porky off quickly. This distraction devastates Porky, as then Los Boricuas throw over a manila envelope and a photo that they had inside. And the image on that photo is absolutely devastating for Super Porky. It shows Pierroth with a machete to the head of Pepe Pepe. Of course, he has not hurt the pig yet. He's just threatening it like a hostage. But that's enough to really, really upset Super Porky, who says it's just not right how he lost. I want to say this is amongst the most evil acts I have ever seen in a ring, be it in Mexican Lucha Libre, in professional wrestling, globally. How evil can you be that you take a man's precious pet pig named Pepe Pepe, you kidnap it, you have photos developed of you threatening it and a recording of its cries, and then you use that to defeat your opponent and shave him bald. Truly, another level of evil for Pierroth. Like I mentioned earlier, the most confusing part of all of this is who has custody of Pepe Pepe when? Who has him at what points? After this match, I believe it's sometime in December, CMLL airs a segment showing Pepe Pepe being rescued by a gang of kids and Bracito de Oro. They succeed in freeing Pepe Pepe and tying up Pierrothito. And this vignette, again, is really good and really funny. Pierrothito screaming for the kids to bring back Pepe Pepe. And while you may think that this is the end, that Pepe Pepe has been rescued and everything is going to be okay for Super Porky and his pet pig, it is not so. I looked and I looked, but I could not find a video of this last segment. However, I did ask around to confirm what happened. Shout out to my good friend Rob, who gave me the 411. a condensed version confirming what I had read earlier. Los Boricuas appear in a segment celebrating a string of recent victories and what they believe will be an upcoming victory for Villano Tercero against Atlantis in their legendary match. During this celebration, they bring out some food, and the main course is unfortunately Pepe Pepe. Yes, Pierroth not only kidnapped the pig, but they end up eating him in celebration. Anyways, thank you for watching, and until next time, see you later. And by the way, if you have any details about this storyline that I may have missed, any big points that you think I may have glossed over, or maybe that I just could not find, absolutely feel free, share them in the comments. I would absolutely like to know more if there's anything I missed. This was a defining storyline back in the time when CMLL did these vignettes and these backstage sort of long-term stories to build up their matches. They were, pretty interesting to me at least. Anyways, thank you again, and see you later.